Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us and welcome to the Founders in LA podcast. I'm your host, Ethan Cole, and this is an opportunity to shine the spotlight through a product lens on some of the exceptional startup founders we have as part of the LA community in an unedited, one take organic conversation. Our guest today is Vadi Efe. Thanks so much for coming to the studio today, Vadi.
Hi, Ethan. Thanks for hosting me today.
This is going to be great. Excited to have you on. And this is a video recording for one of the first ones we've done. So excited to do this live.
Yeah, same here.
Hey, Vadi, could you just give us a 30-second description of BusinessWise?
Yeah, sure. So what we do in business-wise, we match brands or clients with audio and video creators.
Okay.
And we do it for B2B marketing. So our platform is mostly focused on business-related content. And we work with podcasters and YouTube channels.
So you help connect the creatives, the people who are creating the podcasters with these businesses who may not have their own media channel, but are still interested in maybe having a segment or having some content available on their channels?
Sure. So what they can do is place their ads into these shows
Okay.
or work with these creators to do branded content or sponsorship opportunities to reach their audience.
That's great. And how did you find yourself dedicating your life to this? How did you find yourself creating BusinessWise?
Yeah. So, entrepreneurship, if you ask me, is an attitude.
Okay.
And entrepreneurs are like driven individuals. And so I was like starting as a creative long years ago. And I started with a music platform and I made my first money out of it.
Okay.
It was just like a content platform. And then I became more professional and started a chat platform when I was a student, which got acquired by a media group in my local country, Turkey.
Okay.
So later on, all these like media, audio, video, the technology is improving all these years. And after my last exit, which was a digital marketing and social media company,
Okay.
I decided to move to California, because it's the place to be, right, for entrepreneurs and for media professionals. So that's how I found myself in sunny Los Angeles. And right now, why I started this company, because I'm also an entrepreneur who likes to listen to content to develop my skills
Right.
and also entertain myself. So there are a lot of, it's like an ocean, all these like YouTube content or like different podcasts, and you can listen and develop your skills or just like be entertained. But there are not so many platforms right now to match the relevant show with relevant brands for business development opportunities. So there is like a tremendous opportunity to develop here, and we are just beginning.
That's great. So what you're saying is the challenge or the problem that you're identifying is that there are a number of places where you can find podcasts, a number of places where people are developing podcasts, but more often than not, that's being done on kind of the personal level, right? There's places you can go to find, explore and create communities, but almost always it's delivered to you on as a consumer level, not on a business level.
Yeah, sure. So most of the content which is being monetized are entertainment focused and on consumer focused. But there are so many expert opinion leaders, and they are like subject matter experts in their own field. It might be software development or blockchain or e-commerce,
Right.
or even like car dealers or supply chain professionals. There are so many content out there which are being produced and listened by other professionals.
Right.
And companies invest in this, and individuals, consultants invest in this. And there are a lot of companies who are trying to reach those audiences, but there are not so many opportunities for contextual targeting. And also in digital advertising, there are a lot of change right now with you cannot use the cookies that much anymore.
Right.
So, and with the rise of audio and video technology and AI recently, you can create tools to match the brands or like the startups to reach those audiences and benefit from these channels.
Wow. So It's kind of like a digital marketplace, but instead of maybe display ads, you're focused directly onto media and podcasts and video.
Yeah. Right now, for example, a good example is YouTube is connecting the RSS feeds of podcasters into their own platform. So audio channels are also integrating with the video channels, like we are, like recording right now.
Right.
And you can place different products. You can do like product placements, or you can just endorse a brand in a show, in a content. And you can also in the future be able to interact with all this content. There will be like speech recognition integrated
Mm.
into the audio content, or the video content will all be more discoverable. With a generative AI, you will be able to automatize all this experience for each of the consumer watching the video.
Yeah.
So there are much more to come soon.
That's interesting. So we are on the precipice of an opportunity where clips of podcasts can be discovered across, the internet or,
Hmm.
wherever podcasts live. And that will allow companies to really track what they're doing a little bit better. And so
Hmm.
you're getting to a place where you're helping form those connections and creating this marketplace for them to live.
Yeah, definitely. We currently work with more than 2,000 creators and 40 different like ad networks, plus individual creators also. And we are developing the platform further.
That's great. And you recently received funding too, didn't you?
Yeah, so we are part of also Long Beach Accelerator, Southern California organization supporting us right now, and other entrepreneurs in the region and all around US. And we received funding from Sunstone Investments too. They are also based in Long Beach.
Congrats. That's huge. Would you be willing to share a bit about that experience of looking for funding in the first round of funding? You've done it in a number of companies. Can you share
Yeah.
anything for listeners about getting that first investor?
Yeah, sure. So I started bootstrapping because I sold my last company, and so I've been resourceful when I moved here. And then later on, when I decided on my business model,
Right.
I did start networking with several individuals who might be interested in cooperating with me. So
Hmm.
my first investors are angel investors in like audio, video ecosystem, advertising technology, and also B2B marketing related space. And later, I started also observing the ecosystem in Southern California and around the US, and then decided to also work with an accelerator, which also provides you funding and mentoring and networking opportunities. So it's been quite a journey. And definitely, if you create value with what you are doing, you will attract investors.
Yeah. I love that tip and trick that as you're building out that first round of help,
Hmm.
you're finding folks who are
Hmm.
experts in that area, because it is almost like a collaboration at that point. It is funding, but it's not funding, like a blind, they're behind the counter and they're not looking at you. Uh, it's very collaborative at that point. And so it looks like you've sought out folks who would be able to not just provide some, financial help, but also, they know the industry, they're familiar with it. They may also
Yeah.
have ideas themselves.
Yeah, they join your journey and just you take the same path together.
That's great. How did you locate those first folks?
How did I locate this part? So there are a lot of like accelerators and organizations which are working with startups and entrepreneurs, like Y Combinator or TechStars, and there are also niche organizations
Hmm.
which focus more on like education technology or media ecosystem or blockchain. So you can definitely search and find different organizations through platforms like AngelList or Crunchbase, and you can even just like go to networking events and research a little bit in the ecosystem. And you can definitely use LinkedIn or like even Google,
Yeah.
read some blogs. And I think now like there are a lot of resources entrepreneurs who are just starting they can use.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I guess trying to ground this back in Los Angeles. You get one of the accelerators was out of Long Beach. What would you consider the most LA thing that's happened to you? It can be tech related or not.
So yeah, like one of the reasons why I moved to LA, like I've been in digital media and audio and video advertising for a while, and it's the capital for entertainment industry,
Right.
and now it's also converting into a tech hub as well for a while. And like some experiences you can do, of course, many people talk about run into celebrities.
Right.
It might be related with your business, especially if you're an actor or if you're in film industry or music, entertainment, or now even tech. Like for example, in our office space we were working a couple of weeks ago, I ran into Tim Ferriss.
Oh,
And
wow.
he's one of the top like influential podcasters,
Yeah.
and he's been like working on an event in LA. And other than that, you can also have like Hollywood moments. Like one time I was hosting a friend from Silicon Valley, and I took him out to a cocktail bar in Hollywood with like a patio.
Okay.
And then we were just having some cocktails, and when I look into the backyard, I see Billy Joe Armstrong setting up his guitar, and it's not even like a concert place. And then Green Day started playing, right? And like everybody went like crazy. And I was like, okay, now we are having like a Hollywood moment just in a backyard, in a patio. And like one of the top bands of our generation started having like a mini concert.
Oh,
So you can,
that's phenomenal. Yeah, and you got to kind of double punch it. The one is kind of from the business aspect of there's so much going on in LA and in technology and just business in general that you can have Tim Ferriss just appear in your office because he's looking at the space. To Green Day just setting up in the backyard of the speakeasy you happen to be at. That's phenomenal.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming down here. Thank you for sharing with us, Vadi.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for inviting me.
All right. Yeah, we've been speaking with Vadi Efe. He's the founder and CEO of BusinessWise. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Unita and PMALA. I'd like to thank you all for listening to us. And if you like what you hear, please smash that subscribe button. And thanks again for joining us. And we'll catch you next time on Founders in LA.